AOTV Productions, is still with us here live and says, what do you think about the rumor that Vince wants to buy WWE back? How unlikely is that? I think this all starts with Jonathan Coachman, who I believe has some sort of connection to the McMahon family. I don't know all the details, but I guess there's speculation that maybe started on Jonathan Coachman's podcast that perhaps Vince would like to buy the WWE back. There was a lot of response I saw online saying that, well, TKO's not interested in that. I mean, what would you expect if they were asked that sort of question? But is there a scenario? Is it even possible, Eric? Do you think one day? I mean, I guess we always hear never say never in wrestling, but that feels pretty close to never to me, doesn't it to you?
Yeah, it feels that way, but when Vince McMahon is involved, I tend to lean into the never say never a lot more. I mean, I can't imagine a scenario where that would be plausible. Take that back. Likely. I can't imagine a scenario where that would be likely. However, it is plausible. TKO may not be interested, but it's a publicly held company. Depending on the offer, TKO has no choice but to be interested because they have a fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders to maximize shareholder value. And if Vince somehow, some way, I don't know, let's just throw Saudi into the mix, put together a fund that would make a legitimate offer for a publicly held company, interested or not, it has to be entertained. Now, I know almost nothing about mergers and acquisitions other than they suck, having been through one that didn't turn out too well for anybody involved in the entire company, not just WCW, but Turner Broadcasting as a whole. That was a disaster. It has gone down, I think, in financial business circles as the AOL Time Warner Turner merger as being the worst corporate merger of all time. So that speaks to itself, but for itself, I should say. But it's plausible. It is plausible that Vince could put together enough money to make an offer for a publicly held company that because it would have a positive potentially impact on shareholder value, the offer would have to be entertained. You could probably find a million ways to not accept it, but it doesn't mean you can't not entertain it. That's my take. And again, I don't know enough. I'm not an expert. I don't live in the merger and acquisition world, but I think I'm probably right or close to it.
I do want to ask you some merger and acquisition news, but before we do, you mentioned Saudi. Listen, there's the old cliche we've all heard before, Eric: telephone, telegram, telewrestler. And a couple of days ago, I heard something that I thought, well, that doesn't sound right. We just recently heard that the WWE is in fact rescinding the announcement that they're going to take WrestleMania to New Orleans next year. And a lot of people are of the belief that, well, that means Las Vegas is getting WrestleMania again. And I have to admit, that's what I thought too. And maybe that still is the case. Maybe that is where it lands. But through the Wrestler Whisper campaign, I heard, and again, not directly from WWE, but from someone around, WWE might be doing WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia next year. And when I heard that, I thought that just doesn't. I don't think that's. I can't imagine that after they just announced New Orleans. I could maybe buy into moving to Las Vegas. Would you be surprised if WrestleMania next year was in Saudi Arabia?
Yes.
I would too.
Yes. That would be. I mean, it's like the NFL. Are we surprised when the NFL has games over in Europe? No. When they play in Mexico, are we surprised? No. But if they move the Super Bowl there,
right,
that's a little different, right? That'd be a big move, and I think somewhat risky in the sense that your core audience would feel somewhat disenfranchised. I mean, let's face it, the US audience is the largest percentage of their viewing audience. Well, maybe that's not even true anymore. India's pretty big, but whatever the case may be, this is still, WWE is an American entertainment brand. And to take your showcase event and move your uniquely American brand to another country, any country, Saudi, England, Germany, France, Italy, India, doesn't matter. Country doesn't matter. To take it out of the US would be like taking the Super Bowl or the World's. Can you imagine Major League Baseball taking the World Series out of the US?
No.
That's how it rubs me. That's just my visceral, I like that word, visceral reaction.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it is, it still seems far-fetched. And again, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but when I heard someone say, well, I heard, normally I would have just totally dismissed it. But then I started to think, well, they did just remove the announcement for New Orleans. They would have to have a major opportunity fall in their lap to walk that back. So we'll see what happens in the coming weeks.
Well,
By the way,
let's add another layer. Didn't they just move Crown Jewel to Australia?
yes, they did.
I mean, this is a fun little game. You know, it's like what if, speculation, all that. What's that term that I hate? Hypothetical.
Oh, yeah.
That's what this is. But it's sometimes fun, right? But when you look back, you go, wait a minute. I mean, because it was kind of odd that they moved Crown Jewel to Australia.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I didn't even think of that. But if that's real, let me just say it is going to create a huge opportunity. I do believe it'll create a huge opportunity.
SaveWithConrad.com.
Yeah, I'm Justin Ruffin from Knoxville, Tennessee. What got me to Save with Conrad was the 83 Weeks podcast. I really wasn't thinking about getting rid of any debt. I just wanted to cash out some equity in the house to do remodeling. But I did both, so that was pretty awesome. Worked out great. Redid the foyer, built pantry space, and there was like little odds and ends when I first bought the house that I wanted to take care of, and we were able to take care of it. So, yeah, paid off 2 cars and some credit card debt. So probably all in all, get $30,000 in that, and then I got some $30,000 more equity out of the house, and still plenty of equity left over. So payment's good. I lowered my interest rate. I'm in a much better spot than I was. Super easy. Everybody was great. Very, very awesome people. Francis and Steve were great to work with. They're awesome. Made it for a very easy, seamless experience. I'd probably say all in all, probably $1,000 a month at least. I lowered my interest rate, especially the way the interest rates are right now, which is, that's amazing. I'm Justin Bruckman from Knoxville, Tennessee. I saved over $1,000 with SaveWithConrad.com, and I did a lot of renovations with that money as well.
NMLS number 2129, Equal Housing Lender. SaveWithConrad.com.